Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to speak on the bill.
Yes, ma'am.
With tenderness and love for everyone on every side. I cannot support this bill because it gives control over a decision that is currently mine. I have 2 children. They are 3 and 5 years old. There was talk of perfect children. I have 2 perfect children, and they have brown hair and brown eyes. I wanted them very badly, and choosing to become pregnant was a decision that I made. Many women don't consciously make that decision. I made the decision to carry them to term. I made the decision to birth them in a hospital. I made the decision to take Tylenol during pregnancy. I made the decision not to eat cold cuts during pregnancy. I chose my obstetrician. As we know, parenthood involves thousands of decisions every day, if not every hour. I want to take you through my morning. When my son started calling at 6:22 a.m. before my alarm, I had to decide whether to get up and go to his room, whether to shout, "Go back to sleep," whether to ignore it and hope that he would get involved with his toys, whether to nudge my husband awake, or what to do. I got up. Then the decision was whether, should we pick out his clothes now or should we do that after breakfast? It's Dr. Seuss week at daycare, and today they're supposed to wear stripes. So we had to find striped pants and a striped shirt and striped socks, and I thought, is anyone going to see these striped socks? Is it worth digging around? But we found some, and then we dug around in the underwear drawer, and we couldn't find any striped underwear, so he wore Paw Patrol, but I don't know if anyone's going to see those or not. So then it was time for breakfast. It's about 6:28 now. We go downstairs. He asks if we can make muffins. I think, well, do we have time to make muffins before his sister gets up and my husband gets up and it's time to go to school? And is it worth dirtying the pan and I'm not going to clean until later? Or should I just give him some yogurt? But if I give him yogurt, he's going to ask for granola with honey. Some of my colleagues in this chamber are mothers of young children, and they probably had similar mornings. While I'm making the muffins, I decide, should he do his writing practice at the kitchen table, or should I send him to the basement playroom to play? Or, it might be too cold down there. Okay, so let's do writing practice. And then he's working on his name, K-U-R-T. If the R is backwards, should I just praise him for the whole thing? Should I correct him on the R? Should I tell him the R is backwards? Can I praise him while telling him the R is backwards? He's only 3. He's doing great. I praised him. And then I'm serving him, and oh, look, his fingernails are getting long. Okay, should we use the scissors or should we use the clippers? And should I do it right now so he looks good going into daycare? Should I wait till after his bath so they're softer? My point is that none of you were there for any of these decisions. And none of these decisions were legislated. These decisions were mine and mine alone in regards to parenting my children. I am a free woman, and I would hope that people would not make one decision for me that would lead to an infinite number of other decisions that will be mine alone. And I cannot vote to make one decision for the women in my district and leave them to make all the others by themselves.
Discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. These issues are extremely emotional and tough for everybody. But I don't think it's fair to say that this legislature wants to get involved in the daily decisions of motherhood or fatherhood. As my good friend, the lady from Jefferson 31 says, there is a tremendous difference between what we're doing here and deciding for someone what size shoes they wear, what type of oatmeal we might serve them. None of those decisions take the life of another human being. Abortion does. It is difficult in kind, and it trivializes this decision to say morning decisions equate to the killing of another life. So while I respect most folks on both sides, and I certainly respect my friend, the lady from Jefferson 31, this is a different decision than whether to make those morning decisions. This is a decision to end the life of another human being. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes the